Big cartwheel down to the mat, hands frame the foot, coming up on the toes of that left foot. Runner's lunge. Inhale, stepping back into plank, top of a push-up. Mindful of your form. Feel it in your body. That's how we practice our proprioception. So press the floor away, lift here. There's your foot. Now with your next exhale, vinyasa or downward facing dog. Deep cleansing breath in through the nose, audible sigh out the mouth. With your next exhale, release to the knees, tabletop, sitting back into child's pose. Take a moment here to check in with self. Becoming aware of breath. Notice how it has changed. Notice if there's space for you to deepen and lengthen. Awareness of body. Any sensations arising in the body, or maybe just feeling the energy, the prana. Heat, vibration. Awareness of mental, emotional body. Back to being aware of the stories we tell ourselves. Detaching from these stories. Reminding yourself of the intention that you set. Sometimes these stories are here to distract or to point out the things that you find maybe you aren't as successful at. When we come to our mat to practice yoga, we also practice switching the script. Reminding ourselves of that source of love and light, that intention. Knowing that each practice is not going to be like the last. And not each practice is going to show progress. And that's okay. With your next inhale, pressing back up through tabletop, we'll meet in downward facing dog. You're taller than you give yourself credit for. With your next inhale, left leg lifts into the air. Pelvis is level, left hip has not opened. Beautiful. Inhale, crunch left knee, left elbow. Inhale, three-legged dog. Exhale, crunch knee to nose, hugging the thigh into the chest. Inhale, three-legged dog. Exhale, crunch left knee, right elbow, working those obliques. Inhale, back it up. Exhale, step it through. Warrior one. Back heel seals to the mat. Inhale to reach the arms up overhead. Now that back foot, it seals to the mat at a 45-degree angle. It's a different back foot than warrior two. Yes, they're both warriors. Warrior one is what we're in right now. Warrior two was when we were on the long edge of our mat, arms open out wide to a T. But because we're working two different edges of the mat in these two asana, the feet are different. So back toe, well, I mean, in my warrior two, they're more similar, but that's just my own journey, my anatomy. In warrior one, back foot, if it is parallel to the back of our mat, very, very challenging to get right hip forward. Nearly impossible. Let those back toes be at a 45-degree angle, kind of pointing up towards the top corner of your mat. It allows space for that right hip to shine towards the top of your mat. Exhale, forward fold, arms sweep back, gazing over the left toes. Inhale, warrior one, bring it back up. Exhale, forward fold, arms sweep back, shoulders draw away from ears. Inhale, warrior one. Last one, exhale, forward fold, holding the body here, breath keeps moving. Why? Because if we hold the breath, nervous system starts to panic. For 3, 2, 1. Inhale, warrior one, arms reach up. Opening to 5-pointed star, long edge of your mat. Toes out, heels in. So notice, the foot that was the back foot is now pointing in a direction it was not pointing in before. Every time we transition between short and long edges of the mat, feet will need to adjust. It's the nature of the beast. Exhale, goddess squat. Beautiful. Feel the feet ground into the earth. And on your next inhale, root to rise. Press through those feet to reach up, 5-pointed star. Exhale, goddess squat. Lower straight down, slight tuck to the tail, chest is open and lifting. Inhale, 5-pointed star. Last one, exhale, goddess squat, lower it down. And bring the hands to the knees or thighs, right shoulder drops to the center. Right hand is helping to open inner right thigh and hip. Inhale to come back through center. Exhale, drop the left shoulder to the center. Left hand against left knee or thigh to help open up that hip. With your next inhale, goddess squat, come back to center. For 3, 2, 1. Inhale, 5-pointed star. Exhale, warrior 2 to the top of your mat, adjusting both feet. Now, I'm going to say now way too many times. It could be a drinking game. So your back foot, right foot, has those 2 options. Now that we're working long edge of the mat, you can bring the pinky toe edge of the foot parallel to the short edge of your mat. But I invite you to explore letting those right toes kind of knock in 45 degrees. Anatomically, you might find it's a little more accommodating to that right hip. If in your body you go, no, I like my foot parallel, I don't know what she's talking about, turning these toes in, I'm not into it. Cool, wonderful. You know in your body what you want and need. Gazing over the left fingertips, soften the shoulders. Inhale, reverse your warrior, reaching up and back, keeping the bend in that front knee. I promise you your legs won't pop off. Coming back through center, taking an extended side angle, elbow to knee, opening the chest towards the windows. Option to bring hand to block or earth. If you're taking hand to block or earth, inside edge of that left foot. Again, if you've got hand to earth or block, maybe working towards bind. Left arm reaching beneath left thigh, back of right hand to low back. The fingers inch towards one another. Now, if you've got your bind, come back into extended side angle, setting up for half moon. Right hand to hip, left hand off the pinky toe edge of left foot. Reach it far. We don't want to keep that block real close into the toes because the hand is supporting the shoulder. The ankle supports the hip. Your torso has length to it. Honor the length of your torso. For 3, 2, 1. Deep bend to left knee, right foot finds the mat, warrior two. Beautiful. Straighten into that front leg, Trikonasana, triangle. Reaching with the torso. When the torso says, no, I can't go any further, hand drops to leg. Opposite arm reaches up towards the ceiling. The chest is opening towards the windows. Now bring the awareness to your right hand, the one that's up in the air. On your inhale, let it lift you up out of triangle, reverse, reach up and back. With your next exhale, big cartwheel down to the mat, coming up onto the toes of the back foot. Inhale, stepping back into plank, top of a push-up. Press the floor away. It's very common to let the shoulders squeeze back together and the chest to drop towards the floor here. Press it away even more. For 3, 2, 1. Exhale, vinyasa or downward facing dog. Once those hips are up and back, deep cleansing breath in through the nose and out through the mouth. Release to the knees, tabletop. Make your way into child's pose. Keep the arms a little break. Maybe option to circle out the wrists. Or even coming into embryo. So in embryo, it's just like child's pose, except instead of extending the arms out in front of you, arms reach alongside the body, fingers lengthening back towards toes. Taking a cleansing breath, deep breath in through the nose, audible sigh out the mouth. Let it go. What you are letting go differs. Yogi to yogi, time to time, experience to experience. Sometimes it's the obvious, releasing carbon dioxide. It's the poisonous gas. It's the byproduct of us breathing in oxygen. We have to get rid of it, or bad things happen. But what other things could we be letting go of? Distractions, distracting thoughts, distraction of other students in the room, but also the distraction of the mental, emotional body. Remember those stories we told ourselves about body parts falling off? No one lost an arm or leg. We tell ourselves stories to justify things sometimes. Oh, I'm not strong enough for this. I better stop before my body gives out. My body's not strong enough. I'm not flexible for this. Why am I doing this? I can't touch my toes. Maybe you resonate, maybe you don't. Those are just some of the stories I used to tell myself, and sometimes the stories come back. I'm always practicing flipping the script. I'm always practicing showing myself compassion, grace. Yoga is a practice, not something that we ever master and complete, because guess what, yogis, there is always more. With your next inhale, pressing up into tabletop, and then making your way all the way onto your belly, however you wish to do so. You want to add another vinyasa, you want to chaturanga your way down there, go for it. You just want to get there and forget there. Now create a little pillow for the forehead by stacking the palms. This allows the head and neck to fully let go. It also lifts your face up a little so there's some space to breathe. You're welcome. We'll start to scan over the body head to toe here. Noticing all the contact points front body makes with the earth. Maybe noticing what it's like to become aware of front body. Something we see every day, but might not necessarily feel, be present with. Now bringing the hands to the mat alongside low ribs, elbows and shoulders hug back, prepping for baby cobra. With your next inhale, lift the head and chest, shine the heart through, tops of the feet grounding into the mat or floor. With your next exhale, release yourselves back down. Beautiful. Inhale, baby cobra, lifting head and chest, shining the heart through, hug those elbows back. Exhale, release it back down. Third one, inhale, lift the head and chest, find your baby cobra. Tops of the feet press into the earth, option to hover the hands here. What happens when we hover the hands, we remove some grounding points. Instead of using Earth's energy, all of our energy is being used. With your next exhale, release, bring it back down. Now walk the hands up to the top of your mat, and with your next inhale, press up into Sphinx pose, coming up onto the forearms with elbows beneath the shoulders. Now, forearms are parallel, so notice if the hands start inching in towards one another. We're thinking railroad tracks. If we had laser beams on the edge, on the tips of our fingers, minus the thumbs, because they're a different creature. Those beams are going to go straight out in front of us, never going to cross. If we were to walk the hands in, they'd cross eventually. So keeping them parallel. Elbows are energetically pulling back. This helps the heart shine through. Hug the shoulders back. With your next exhale, release, bring it all the way down, pillow for your forehead. With your next inhale, coming back up into Sphinx. Checking in on your form. Notice where you engage, where you soften, and if you're unsure, let me know. Now bend into the right knee, right foot up in the air. Beautiful. Starting to get a quad stretch. If you're looking for more, you can reach back for that right foot and encourage the heel in towards the glute. Something to be mindful of, especially if we're grabbing that foot, is the front hip. Front right hip continues to ground into the mat versus peeling off and lifting. Because, oh yeah, I can peel it back and bring that foot in all the way. But the second I start to, nope, that's really my stretch. Now with your next exhale, release the foot if you've got it, leg floats back down, Sphinx pose. Bend into the left leg, foot in the air. Hugging that heel in towards the glute, option to reach back and take the bind. Mindful of that front left hip grounding into the mat. And with your next exhale, releasing the bind, leg floats back down, Sphinx. Releasing all the way down, pillow for the fourth. We'll bring the hands to the mat beneath the shoulders. Inhale, tabletop, exhale, child's pose. Tailbone drawing down towards the heels. Feel the low back lengthen and open up after all of that back bend, getting some nice counter stretch here. With your next inhale, pressing up into tabletop, making your way to your seat. Legs extend out long in front of you. hips leading with the heart. When you find your max fold, releasing the arms, shoulders roll back, heart shines through. Flexion through the feet and ankles, toes reaching back. What happens if the story in your head is all about touching your toes? Bend your knees. Everyone can touch their toes in a forward fold. Everyone. Still a forward fold. If the thought behind it is only about touching the feet, you're losing the lengthening of the back body. It's not about whether or not you can touch your toes or how far or how deep you fold. Can you stay with the integrity behind the asana? Long spine, open chest. We'll plant the palms. Inhale, walk ourselves back up and make our way onto our backs, fully reclining. So forward folds are powerful things, whether you're seated or standing. When we fold forward, we stretch and lengthen the entire back of our body. From the heels, all the way up the legs, hips, back, head to the front hairline. With your next inhale, hug the knees in towards the chest, maybe finding a gentle rock side to side, giving some additional love and attention to low back and sacrum. Your sacrum is the bone that connects left and right side of pelvis together on back body. It is also the very, very bottom of your spinal column. Your tailbone is the very bottom tip of your sacrum. Now open the arms out wide to a T, palms face up. This helps to keep the chest nice and open. With your next exhale, lower the knees over to the right for reclining spinal twist, keeping the shoulders in contact with the earth. Well, if that left shoulder wants to lift, maybe you bring in a block or a blanket beneath the knees, lifting the floor up closer to the legs. Now you can take any variation of a reclining spinal twist that you would like here. Maybe you turn and look back over the left shoulder, sending the twist up the neck. Maybe you like to extend that top leg and grab the toe, whatever it is. Twists are wonderful for spine health. They also aid in digestion. When we twist our body, we give a massage to all the internal organs, gets things moving. Now, if you turned your gaze, first bring the head back to neutral, back to center. And then on your next inhale, knees hug back in towards the chest. Exhale, take the knees over to the left. Be mindful that it might take a few rounds of breath for the body to release in this opposing twist. It might also be that you have a different range of motion from one side to the other. In our yoga practice, we don't force the body to look the same side to side. We support the body and feel similar sensations side to side. Awareness of breath, calming the nervous system. And if you turn the gaze first, bringing the head back to center, inhale to hug the knees back in towards the chest. Happy baby, reach between the knees to grab a hold of the pinky toe edges of the feet. Other binds here could be holding onto ankles or reaching from the outside, grabbing the backs of the thighs. Soles of the feet shining up towards the ceiling as the knees are encouraged to draw towards the earth. For 3, 2, Inhale, hug the knees in towards the chest. Active wind releasing pose. See how small you can make yourselves here. Tuck the chin, lift the shoulders, hug those knees in. With your next exhale, release and lengthen. Making your way into Shavasana, your final resting pose. Bringing in any props to support or cover the body. And allowing the eyes to gently close if they haven't already.
Crazy how fast these classes go by.
Taking a nice deep breath in through the nose, audible release out the mouth. Again, deep breath in through the nose. Exhale, sigh out the mouth. One more deep breath in. Exhale, let it all go. Shavasana. subtle movements, wiggling fingers and toes, circling through wrists to ankles, reaching the arms up overhead, finding a full body stretch from fingers to toes. Mindfully drawing the knees in towards the chest and making your way over onto your right hand side, fetal position, eyes closed. Pausing here to allow the body to fully awaken and reacclimate, I invite you to bring to your awareness the intention that you set at the start of practice. Either choosing to carry this intention with you or releasing it if it no longer serves you, I offer you this. The more I believe in myself, the more the universe showers me with opportunities to prove me right. Using the strength of the upper body, you'll press yourselves up, coming to meet in Sukhasana, easy seat, eyes closed, palms to touch at heart center in Anjali Mudra. Sitting up nice and tall, lengthening through the crown of the head, we'll release the chin ever so slightly in towards the chest as a sign of gratitude and place smiles upon our faces. Loka samasta sukhino bhavantu. May all beings everywhere be happy and free. It's been a huge honor and a great pleasure for me to guide you on your yoga path. I thank each and every one of you for showing up for yourselves and sharing your energy with the group tonight. I wish you all a wonderful rest of your evening, and until I see you next time, yogis, make good choices. Thank you so much. Thank you. If you have any questions for me, I am here. I'm just gonna clean up because we went a little bit over, not like 5 minutes, no biggie. You guys earned your Shavasana, I didn't want to skip that. So if you have questions for me and I'm just like scooting around, just hold on, we'll chat. If you know the announcements, then you already know the announcements. If you're curious about things that are happening, check our website, follow us on social media. And until further notice, free classes still going.